Interesting news coming out of China here. Tesla has actually raised its prices, which have shocked a lot of people. They're thinking to themselves, why would Tesla actually do this? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. This is not a Tesla puff piece. I should point out there is a flip side to this. That is, Tesla is offering already incentives for the base model, the standard range Tesla Model Y, which you can't buy in the United States. That has been, well, I don't know. Apparently Tesla had more than 100,000 pre-orders for the Model Y, but I'm going to assume that maybe those numbers weren't correct. I don't know, but I don't understand why Tesla would be offering incentives for the base model of the new version if they did have that many orders. So I'm curious. I'm not sure here. I'm not even making a comment. I don't really know. That's the truth. But Tesla is offering purchase incentives for the Model Y rear-wheel drive version in an attempt to boost sales. Does that mean they're struggling with demand? I don't know. They might be, might not. To be honest, I don't think they are at this point. I think it's a new car, but I'm only guessing. I've got no idea. What are these incentives? The Model Y rear-wheel drive between the 18th of March and the 30th of April, well, you can get 3 years of 0% interest, 3 years 0% interest, or 5 years of ultra low interest financing if they get delivery before the order due date. So as long as they actually end up taking delivery, they can get basically 0% interest loan. So that's a pretty good deal, I have to say. They can also choose a very low down payment. So they've reduced the down payment to 46,000 RMB, which is really not a lot of money. It's only $6,400 US. So if you put down $6,400, you can get 3 years interest free on a brand new Tesla Model Y Highland rear-wheel drive. That is the standard range model. That's the cheapest version. However, it appears as though Tesla is getting quite a lot more demand for the Model Y long range. The long range price has actually been increased in China by $1,400 US, which is an increase of 3.3%, meaning it actually costs $43,400 US to buy it in China. That's actually quite expensive. I mean, that's not the performance version. So $43,400 US for the Tesla Model Y long range. I mean, let's be real here. Compared to Tesla's rivals, it's more expensive than every single one of them. More expensive than anything from any of those brands, to be honest, really, that compares with this vehicle. So that's a bit of a surprise here. And it's a big surprise to me because, big reason, the Chinese bloodbath. I mean, it is a bloodbath. Xpeng CEO has famously said the bloodbath, the Chinese auto market bloodbath is just brutal. And that's why I'm a bit thinking to myself, they must have a lot of demand for the long range. Otherwise, I don't think they'd be doing this. What it looks to me is though, most people went and bought the long range and Tesla went, okay, we need to incentivize, make the cheaper one, the standard range cheaper because everyone's buying the long range. That's what it appears. I could be wrong, but that's what it's looking like. Let me know what your thoughts are about all this in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next video. The new Tesla Model Y Juniper. I've placed an order. I already have an Xpeng G6. I'm going to compare the two cars, but I'm going to compare them here for you already because I've looked at every angle that I can think of. Having owned the G6, I know everything it does well. I know the advantages it has over the Tesla Model Y, and it does definitely have some pretty significant advantages. I know that the advantages the Tesla Model Y has over the Xpeng G6. So here is a comparison between the two cars. When I get the Model Y, I'll do some more in-depth comparisons as well. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Quick summary. New Tesla Model Y Juniper. It's beginning with a launch model. Now, the launch model is a little bit more expensive here in Australia than what will be the standard model, which I'm going to assume would be here probably 3 or 4 months after the launch model. But the launch model does mean you don't have to pay extra for paint colors. You get the boost mode for free, so you get extra performance at no extra cost. You get some special badging, get a slightly nicer interior. So it does have a few perks, but you got to pay more. Now, The most similar car in terms of model to compare these two is the two cars that cost a very similar price. The Xpeng G6 long range costs in Australia 60,000 Australian dollars, right? That's everything included. You can choose any paint color, $60,000. There are no extras, no add-ons, no extra size wheels. It comes standard with 20-inch wheels, which are the same size wheels as you get on the Tesla Model Y Launch Edition standard range version. The standard range version of the Tesla Model Y Juniper, that comes in at, well, the price is a bit more expensive. It's gone up in price by 7,500. That's Australian dollars. So it's gone up in price by about 4,600 US dollars. That means the new price is 63,400 Australian dollars. Guys, in America, that's around 40,000 US dollars. That's the base model. Now that model comes with a 62.5 kilowatt hour battery. So the battery is, contrary to media reports, it is bigger than the previous battery by 2.5 kilowatt hours. Not a lot, but it is a little bit bigger. That gives you a bit more range, right? It gives you about 11 kilometers more range. Now, it would have a fair bit more range than that. It'd probably have about 40 to 50 kilometers more range if Tesla hadn't put 20-inch wheels on it. The Chinese version does get about 40 to 50 kilometers more range because it doesn't have 20-inch wheels. Those are an option. If you option the bigger wheels, you'll get less range. Unfortunately, the launch model, the launch version here in Australia is only an 11 kilometer range increase. Now, what else do we know about that model? Well, we know that it has 466 kilometers WLTP range. We know that the rear-wheel drive will do 5.9 seconds, 0 to 62 miles an hour. We know that it has the acceleration boost software upgrade, which is optional in pre-update models. That is standard now in this launch model. We also know it has a light bar that stretches across the front of the vehicle. It has a new camera on the front of the vehicle that has a washer jet. So that's a good idea. That's a problem, guys, with a lot of cars now. The camera's on the front of the car. Sometimes you'll be driving on a freeway and you'll go through like a storm of bugs. And then the cameras sometimes can stop working because there's too many bugs splattered on the cameras. The washer jet that Tesla have installed will help to mitigate that problem. Now down the back, there's also another full width light bar. It's a pretty chunky looking one. Not sure if I like it, but some people do, some people don't. Tesla says it's a world first application of an indirect, externally reflected lighting system that projects the rear lamp function onto a custom applique.